A new report from the World Cancer Research Fund projects that the number of cancer deaths will double within the next 40 years, driven by the continued rise in obesity worldwide. The evidence linking obesity and cancer is substantial. Researchers have long known that excess body fat produces hormones such as estrogen and insulin that can increase the risk of developing cancer. In fact, a 2007 study by the World Cancer Research Fund found that a poor diet and physical inactivity account for 25 to 30% of cancers worldwide. The researchers noted that about 7 million people die from cancer each year, but as the obesity rate continues to rise not only in the U.S. but throughout Europe and other parts of the world, by 2020 that number could reach more than 10 million people each year. Now an international team of experts has put out a companion report to the 2007 study that doesn't just address the increase in cancer rates caused by a sedentary lifestyle and poor dietary choices, but also the social, economic, and cultural factors behind those trends. As part of the report, two independent teams of scientists systematically looked at the evidence for how policy changes and interventions influence the behaviors that affect cancer risk. A separate panel of experts then put together specific policy recommendations for government, industry, media, schools, and other institutions to help people make healthier lifestyle choices. The new report underscores the exponential rise of childhood obesity rates in developed nations and suggests that health authorities make the fight against childhood obesity a public health priority worldwide. Finally, in our last story, here in the U.S., insurance nightmares, rising healthcare costs, and a slumping economy are making it more difficult for many people to afford weight loss surgery. As a result, the medical tourism industry is taking off as specialty companies help patients arrange their surgery outside of our nation's borders. Of all the destinations favored by medical tourists, none is hotter right now than India, where patients can undergo a lap band, gastric bypass, duodenal switch, or gastric sleeve procedure in a U.S.-accredited hospital for up to 1/4 the cost of the same operation back in the States, according to a company called World Med Assist, which bills itself as medical tourism experts. In fact, medical tourism is expected to be a global $2 billion market by 2012. In addition to the cost savings, patients are attracted to the idea of medical travel because of shorter wait times for surgery, personalized help with the logistics, and in many cases, luxury accommodations during recovery. Of course, saving 75% on the cost of your weight loss surgery is definitely tempting. But money isn't everything when your life is at stake. After all, medical tourists who travel to locations outside the U.S. for treatment, including Mexico, Brazil, Thailand, and the Philippines, have little way of knowing whether their doctor's experience or accreditation is comparable to a skilled bariatric surgeon here in the U.S., or whether the surgical facility is up to U.S. standards. There's also virtually no pre-surgery care or post-op follow-up, and because American doctors have no way of knowing the quality of medical treatment provided overseas, the majority of bariatric surgeons here in the U.S. simply refuse to provide post-operative care for patients who have had weight loss surgery done outside the country. So whether you're seeking weight loss surgery in India or elsewhere outside the U.S., the rule of caveat emptor applies. Let the buyer beware. Be careful and make sure you do your homework before you get on the plane. And that wraps it up for this week's news. We're glad you could be with us today, and please be sure to post your comments here on the site or email us at the address below to send us your feedback. Or you can look for us on Facebook and send us your ideas there. Just send a friend request to WLS Channel and you can join in the fun. Thanks for tuning in. We'll see you back here next week. Bye-bye.